Jackson Radio Show.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Kevin Jackson here. Story about a guy who died. That's right, a guy who died. And there are those of us who might go, well, he died under some very interesting circumstances. Because he did. He did indeed. He died, maybe because he knew the Clintons, I don't know. Maybe because he knew Barack Obama's secrets. But it's a funny story. Not funny, because the guy does end up dying. And his brother's name is J.J. Horner. I don't know if that has anything to do with the story in and of itself. But I just find it interesting that a guy who is supposed to be the purveyor of fake news dies under these circumstances. So let me just kind of give you an idea of what's going on here. According to Fox News, 38-year-old, what's his name? Mark? No, anyway, I know it's Horner. He died in his room. He lives in Phoenix, and he died in his bedroom at the age of 38 years old. Maricopa County Sheriff's Office spokesman Mark Casey discovered Paul Horner in his bed. Casey said the Maricopa County medical examiner performed an autopsy which showed there were no signs of foul play. So, Hillary was good. He said Horner had a history of prescription drug abuse, and that evidence at the scene suggested this could be an accidental overdose. Horner was known for writing false stories and disseminating internet hoaxes that often went viral on Facebook and hoodwinked thousands of people. And I love the next paragraph because they tell you some of the stories that he hoodwinked people on. Now here's what they say. They included a false story claiming President Barack Obama was gay and a radical Muslim, and another saying protesters were being paid thousands of dollars to demonstrate at Trump campaign rallies. Now I'm going to stop it there and just let you marinate in that thought for a minute. Obama's gay and people were paid a lot of money to be at Trump campaign rallies. Now, I don't know if your revelation was the same as mine, like, oh, so you think Obama isn't gay? Yeah, right, whatever. I know Google's done a lot to protect Barack Obama. There's a video of Barack Obama where he says, with Michelle next to him, that if he's elected presidency, he knows that it's going to mean his life is effectively over. His personal life is over. And he starts working for the people. And I just remember, I got to find that because I wanted to find it and use it in some stuff. And you can't find it. I've looked high and low. I've Googled every combination. Michelle and Barack discuss the presidency. Discussing things. You can't find it. So Google will help them scrub, a lot of stuff. And they've done what they can to scrub the gaiety off of Obama. But why? We live in different times. Gay is completely acceptable. And regardless of Obama's propensity for men and being well documented, who cares? But the Huffington, and for the writer, it said this guy was writing a hoax story. The Huffington Post had the story of Barack Obama and being gay. A woman who claims to have been a classmate delivered some bizarre claims about President Obama in an interview. As Right Wing Watch first reported, Mia Marie Pope told right-wing preacher James David Manning, that she believes that Obama was not only active within the gay community, but also was a heavy cocaine user during his years in Hawaii. He always portrayed himself as a foreign student, Pope said. Girls were never anything that he was ever interested in. He would get with these older white gay men. This is how we just pretty much had the impression that this was how he was procuring his cocaine. So that and the idea, here's the thing that really kind of sealed the deal for me. Look, I get Barack Obama saying, we're going to treat all Americans the same. Gay people have rights, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But Barack Obama took it to a level that you just go, really? This guy made gay issues. If there's a legacy, that's what it is. He's made gay issues just front to the forefront. And to the point where you'd have to be at least a little bit, suspect on why so much time on this issue. He believed at one point marriage was between a man and a woman, and suddenly he changed. We know he's got a, paramour, Reggie Love. I mean, Barack Obama's that dude that is on the DL. But again, I don't care if Barack Obama come out and says, there's rumors of my presidency that, I from time to time partake of men. And of course, I work on a lot of gay issues. Well, I just want to be clear. At one point during college, I was bisexual. Now, I wouldn't care. Van Jones said Barack Obama could admit he was gay during the campaign at one point and said it wouldn't have mattered. And I agree. Now, it doesn't mean I condone it. I'm just saying, I don't really. That's not. He might as well have been gay because he legislated on gays the way, a gay man would have. That's why I said I was suspect. Now, with respect to paid rally goers, I don't need a report of any kind on this issue. I do know what I saw in terms of these ads that were being taken out, but even that's not proof. But I'll tell you what is proof. When you talk to people. So I happened to be at a rally in St. Louis, and not a rally, it was a protest. And it was on the heels of Michael Brown's death. I don't remember how far along, but it wasn't like the day after or anything like that. But I was interviewing, it had to be at least 3 years ago, because I wasn't with Fox. I was interviewing with CNN in the quad angle, they call it Keener Plaza. But I was at the plaza filming in front of everybody, and they brought in all these different groups of protesters, and they weren't talking to one another. Well, I took a break, went to TGI Fridays, and struck up a conversation with a black dude, with more than him, but this one guy in particular I'm talking about. And I said to him, everybody black that's out there, they thought was protesting on behalf of whatever it was. But I said, so what brought you to, I said, where you from? And he said, Chicago. I said, what brought you to town? He says, man, they just called me, told me, you need to get up there, get up to St. Louis, you're going to be marching. And I said, so do you know what the call? He goes, that honestly doesn't really matter. He goes, I'm just here, man. I'm supposed to be here. I'm supporting the cause. And I go, well, what's the cause? Well, I mean, it's oppression and so he gives me talking points that have nothing to do with Ferguson per se. Because Ferguson was hot. It wasn't like he had to dig it up and go, I don't know, man, it was like this thing that had, it's Ferguson. But he had nothing. And I said, so let me get this straight. You're paid. He goes, yeah. He goes, they just called me, they tell me be at this place. And, meet at the rendezvous point. They pick us up. They drive us up here, etc. We're here for a couple days and then I'm out to the next deal. And I was floored. And he really didn't know, what he was doing. And I thought, God, and I don't know how much money he made. So that was inside. Then I go back outside and there was a group of people, I can't describe it, but they were on the right side of the park. And you could tell they were distinctly different than the other groups. They were all kind of cliquish and sticking together. And I'd say there were 30 of them. So I went over and I said, hey, what group are you guys with? And of course they think, we're with the, blah, 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 members of America, whatever. And I go, oh, cool. So where are you guys from? Different places. I'm from Phoenix. I'm from, Tennessee. I'm from, New York, whatever. And I go, so how'd you guys rendezvous? Well, they just tell us where to meet. And then one guy said, yeah, man, he's a white dude. He goes, yeah, man, we go all over the country. And I could hear them making travel arrangements for when they were leaving St. Louis and catching the bus, not a Greyhound bus, a bus chartered for them so they could go, a bus that they brought for those guys. And they were going to the next location. And I can also tell you, they stunk to high heaven. I mean, they're not staying in hotels. These guys are sleeping in this bus, and they probably love it. Wiping their armpits at 7-Elevens and QTs or whatever and moving on to the next location. So this guy who's supposed to be a fake news dude, he's telling about, fake. They say, yeah, he's most noted for writing the stories about Barack Obama being gay and then paying to be at Trump rallies. And those two stories are true. What's he talking about? So that's what got me to looking at this and saying, was this guy really writing fake news? And did he really die of his own accord? This guy is writing real news. And they're saying, oh, no, he's just a jokester. Really? His brother says, I think there was a lot of genius behind a lot of his work, was pushing ideas that either people wanted to believe or thought was possible. Or it was actually true. He fooled, whatever he was fooling people on, he was fooling leftists too. I think this guy, I'm not going to say he was off, but who knows?
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.